Okay, guys, so I wanted to go over the last science unit with you guys because it's kind of difficult in areas. So I thought I'd record a few videos for each lesson, and then you could either sit down and watch all the videos in one day and knock out your science, and mom and dad don't really even need to help because here I am, or you can do a few a day, whatever you choose. So I'm going to probably do this lesson in 2 or 3 videos. Let's see. It's about 11 pages long. Maybe we'll do 2 videos on it. So let me get my share screen up. And this is lesson 1, what is energy? So it says, find the answer to the question in the lesson. What kind of energy do you see in this picture? So it looks like it might be like lights of sorts, lasers, I don't know. So we'll get back to that later. I'm going to let you guys do the vocab terms on your own. You guys know how to do that. Look for the highlighted words. Spell them correctly. Marked a few wrong in the past. You know this, so spell them correctly. All right, so first page, full of energy. Look at the fireworks over the city. They give off heat, light, and sound. Heat, light, and sound are kinds of energy. Energy is something that can cause matter to move or change. So we know that our bodies need energy, and they have energy from eating good, healthy foods and drinking lots of water. So we have energy to do daily activities, like as simple as walking, okay? Running in gym class, going outside, playing sports, those things, we need energy to do that. Our body needs fuel. So different other kinds of energy are heat, light, and sound. So it says these fireworks give off all of them, right? Like heat, if you've ever had a sparkler before, you probably know that they're hot. Maybe you've accidentally touched one before. And they are burning, right? The stuff that, the powder inside and all the chemicals that make the firework have its color and sound and all that, that is, needs heat to make that work. So heat is an energy. Light, the light that is emitted from a firework when it explodes, you see those awesome pretty colors and designs in the air, or just even the sparkler that you hold in your hand has light that comes off of it, right? And then sound, if you have a sparkler, you hear that sound like kind of sizzling. And then a lot of times when you have a firework in the sky, they can boom, or they make a pop or a snap. So all these things are kinds of energy. The active reading says a detail is a fact about a main idea. Draw one line under the detail and an arrow to the main idea. It tells about it. So what do you guys think the main idea is? And then what do you think? It's always easier, I think, to find the main idea. So it says a detail is a fact about a main idea. Draw one line under the detail. So a detail would be heat, light, and sound are kinds of energy. So that's a detail about the main idea, which is the main idea tells about energy. So you underline heat, light, and sound are kinds of energy. That's a detail about energy. So draw your arrow to that. So 2 points there, okay? And then we have different explanations about the kinds of energy. Sound is the energy you hear, obviously. Light is energy that lets you see. You can see objects when light shines on them. You can also see objects that give off light. So some objects give off light, not all objects do. Like I'm noticing over my shoulder right here, see this like reflection right here in the shelf above my fireplace? That's from the lights that way shining this way. So light gives off and it's shining over on another surface. You can also see objects that give off light, like the light in your bedroom, the street light, maybe the light inside the oven or the refrigerator. So we have light everywhere. Obviously the sun is a huge light source for us. The moon at nighttime can be a light source, not always, because we don't always see the moon, but once your eyes get acclimated to being outside, the moon is always out there emitting some sort of light in the night sky, right? We just might not see the moon. And then heat is a kind of energy that makes things warmer. So your body gives off heat. Okay. I know that if I've ever hugged you guys when you come in from outside and I'm like, oh, you're so hot and sweaty, because your body is moving, you're using energy when you're outside of recess, and then you get hot and your body emits heat. A blanket covers you up and keeps heat in. Like the blanket doesn't really give off heat, but your body heat traps that heat inside the blanket to warm you, unless it's an electric blanket, right? If it plugs in and has heat inside of it, then that would give heat. A fireplace, a fire gives off heat, the oven, the sun, like I said, all these things give off heat. So the sun gives off heat and the light. And I bet if you're close to it, it would give off sound, but we don't hear the sound because we're so far away. All right, our activity says circle the name of the energy that makes things warmer. So we have 3 kinds of energy here. Light, heat, sound. Which one makes things warmer? I want you to circle that. I'm not going to do that. I want you to do that because I want to see what you think. And then it says underline the name of the energy that helps you to see. So underline the name. You just, the word, right? We have 3 words, light, heat, sound. So you're going to circle the one that makes things warmer. You're going to underline the one that helps you to see, and then you're going to put an X on the one that you can hear. So one's going to be underlined, one's going to be circled, and one's going to be with an X on it. Just the word, light, heat, sound, not the whole box, just the word. All right. So once you do that, let's turn the page. This says turn up the heat. You can feel heat from many things. Heat from the sun warms earth. Moving things that rub together gives off heat. Rubbing your hands together warms them up. Burning fuel gives off heat. Some fuels cook food and heat homes. Adding heat warms things. Taking away heat cools things. So, obviously, I just talked about on the last page that heat happens in a lot of ways. We have heat from our bodies, heat from a fireplace, heat from the oven, the microwave, a fire. All these things can give off heat. Rubbing your hands warms them up. If you've ever done this in the wintertime, when you come in from outside, if it's cold or if you're outside and you don't have your gloves on, that makes friction, which makes things hot. And if you rub 2 sticks together, maybe you've watched, like I like to watch the TV show Survivor, and they have to make fire for a fire making challenge once in a while, and they will rub like a flint together or 2 rocks or whatever, and they might rub sticks together to make a fire. And that's how back before sources of fire were invented, like matches and things like that, like the cavemen and the first people, Native Americans, would make fires like that. An effect tells what happens. Draw 2 lines under the effect. What do you think? Oh, and there's lots of effects. Lots of effects. So turn up the heat. You can feel heat from many things. Warms the earth. That's an effect of heat. Gives off heat. That's an effect from heat. Warms them up, right? So heat from the sun warms earth. Heat warms earth. That's an effect. Moving things that rub together give off heat. Rubbing your hands together warms them up. That's the effect from rubbing your hands. Burning fuel gives off heat. So that's the effect there. Some fuels cook food and heat homes. That's just a statement. That's not an effect. Adding heat warms things. That's an effect. Adding heat warms things. Taking away heat cools things. That's the effect of taking away heat. Down here, the burning log gives off heat. Heat keeps the family warm. So the burning log, the log is burning. That's the cause. What's new? It gives off heat. And over here, we see the family gets cooler when the fire dies down. So when the fire dies down, what's the effect? The family gets cooler. And do we have another one? No, that's it. So lots of things to underline. Make sure you're underlined all those things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 things you need to underline there. Questions say, what happens when you add heat? What happens when you add heat? So if you are cold and you put a blanket on, you stand in front of your fireplace, you open the oven. What happens when you add heat? You're gonna write that down yourself. And then what happens when you take heat away? You're gonna write that answer down too. Let's see. I think we'll do one more page and then I'll do a second video for this lesson. See the light. The sun, electric lights, and fire all give off light. Light is energy that lets you see. The amount of light can change how you see things. The amount of light can change how you see the color of an object. Adding more light can make an object look brighter. Taking away light can make an object look dimmer. I just did that before I made this video. I had my light on above me and not out in my living room, but there was a huge, like it was super dim, like just kind of, remember how when we were in school in the classroom, we would always have one light switch on and one light off when we would work on the board at the front of the room when I would project things up, and sometimes it was really hard to see and sometimes it was hard, so we would have to mess with the lights. Well, same thing here at my house. I was noticing that with my other light, this light on and the other light off, I looked really dim and it was blurry and hard to see me and my computer screen. But so I turned on the living room light and I turned off the light above me in front of my fireplace here, and it makes me look brighter. So it all just depends on the lighting, the outdoor lighting coming inside, the lights you have on, the light from the computer screen. It's all going to make things look different. So let's look at this. How much light? Different materials let different amounts of light pass through. So a window pane lets all the light pass through. Obviously, windows are made of glass. We can see through them. It might be a plexiglass or type of plastic, but depending on the window and where it's at. But you can see through the window. It allows light to get in your house just like you can see outside of your house. A lampshade lets some light pass through. This isn't a typical lampshade. This looks like a lantern, like a decorative lantern you would hang from a ceiling or something. But it's a type of light. So like if you have a light shade, maybe you have a lamp next to your bed and the shade doesn't let all that light go out. If you've ever taken the shade off a light, you can see it's really bright. But if you put that shade on, it's a lot dimmer, but it still allows light enough to see when you're reading at night or whatever, right? And then a door lets no light pass through. So if I had my bathroom door open and the light was on, you could see the light coming out of the bathroom, right? But if I close that door, that light's not going to get out anymore. You might see some at the top or bottom if there is a little crack, but other than that, you can't see the light. The light from the room is not coming outside into the hallway or the room or wherever you have the light closed in at, right? So a door is solid, like a wall is solid. You can't, light will not go through a wall, right? Well, I just gave you a hint. It says name something else that lets no light pass through. So the word I just said, and there's lots of other things. What is something that light does not pass through? Write that down. And then let's look at this last page, and then we're going to stop this video, and you can stop your science for today, or you can continue it and turn it all in at once, whatever you want to do. So here's a beautiful picture. It looks like, it kind of looks like the coast of Italy when I went to Capri. It looks, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the thing just popped up. But so it could be anywhere, but it looks like Capri to me, but similar to Capri at least. So the color of the water and rocks looks dim in the low light. So it looks like the sun is either just going to come up or it's just setting. So it's pretty dark and dusky here, right? So everything looks muted and dim. But then when the sun is out, the color of the water and the rocks looks bright in bright light. Because look at, the sun is shining on these rocks. You can see some shadow where the sun doesn't shine, but then where it does shine, you can see it's super bright, and the water is super bright too. Okay, so we're going to stop with this video with this part of the lesson. If you want to continue, just go on to the next video. See you in a bit.